Jackie O'Brien. I am UK General Manager for Inagene Diagnostics. So Inagene is a pharmacogenomics company. The pharmacogenomics is where you look at somebody's DNA and then you can actually compare that DNA and how the individual is going to respond to medications. So what we do is we have an assay through which we test patients' DNA, and that then underpins the data input into our software medical device, which provides reports back for healthcare professionals for their patients on what would potentially be the best medication for them, rather than having to go through a trial and error process of trying a medication, having it not work too well or getting too bad side effects. This looks at the individualized DNA profile for that one particular medication or a multitude of medications, which then they can say, okay, so this is the least risk, this is the best choice for you to start on and see how we go. We're a bit of a strange animal in that we've got a parent company in Canada who are the inventors of the solution, and they've been they're still an SME, still a tiny company, and they've been working for about 5 years. So we're a new SME in the UK. We've been registered since 2023, January 2023, and we're working with the NHS to introduce the pharmacogenomics into the system. We focus very much at the moment around mental health and pain for patients. So mental health and pain covers pretty much every type of chronic morbidity where you've got a diabetic patient. They might have neuropathic pain along with a degree of anxiety or depression associated with their illness. Similarly for cancer, you get a similar sort of thing, but then you also have mental health issues, and you can also have independent pain issues as well. The medications that we look at within our panel, so if I go back to the beginning, pharmacogenomics is where you identify which medications are going to suit an individual best based on their genetic profile. Mm-hmm. So the report that we produce from that information then will tell the doctor which is the best and most optimal treatment for the individual, and it will help them either titrate or change the medication that they're already on, or advise them if they're going to start on something new. We've been members with I've personally been a member of Medilink through my own consultancy for 3 years or so. So I'm aware of a lot of the programs that you have come through your newsletters and things like that. Inagene became a member last year, and so we were made aware of it through the team. We've been having lots of conversations to see how we can benefit from different grant funding, from the different opportunities of partnership on submissions and various different things. So I think it was probably Ben actually reached out and suggested that this was now available, and would it be something we would like to look at. So I put in an application and registered interest. Our need is very much around regulatory work. It's quite a huge hurdle. We've got a lot to do in the UK, and all of this is very expensive, and other markets don't see it in the same way, so therefore it's difficult to internally get the buy-in and understanding for needing to go through these hurdles. So that was really my hope and my focus in how can we take over the world. This is the biggest barrier for us, so that's why I've sort of started to look at it and see if there's any opportunities. It's been brilliant, to be honest. I haven't met so many helpful people before in my entire life. I went to the legal session. That has been really informative, learned a lot around the IP, the managing things, and also different requirements around licensing and contracting. All good things that you need to know. My background is I am a nurse by trade, so I've grown up through that route rather than being a business or an academic person and coming in from a different angle. So there's an awful lot I need to learn as I'm working, and becoming and being a general manager in a UK organisation. So that has been amazing. The regulatory work, we've gone through a lot of regulatory already. It's really fine-tuning that and knowing what's the best route to get the best gains. We're doing a lot of study work with the NHS, so I'm going to hopefully be attending the study session, the clinical trial session, because I've always worked in companies where you've got entire departments to do all of this stuff. So now it's just me and my colleague. You've got to be everything for the business. So going in and getting that additional information and understanding it is absolutely critical. Inagene at the moment, we're going through a massive transition, and that couldn't have been a better timed session, to be perfectly honest, because the team there spotted a need that was actually separate from the IP presentations that were there. I was just chatting and asking questions, which meant that I was able to get some really great insight into licensing and building out contractual agreements and things like that, which we're having to do at the minute. So that to date that one little piece has been so useful in just giving me confidence in working with a Canadian organisation. But also I'm hoping that I can extend that out and go back to Shoesmiths for more information, more advice, and actually formalise the contracting process through them, because they've been so supportive so far. All I can say is a massive, huge thank you, because every single workshop has been absolutely superb. It's really well thought out. There's bits there you don't need, but there's also bits there that you can always learn. And if you know something already, it's great to know that what you've actually learned by trial and error is actually correct. So that is good. And yeah, just a huge thank you, because this is resources that we would have to pay a lot of money for otherwise. And yeah, incredibly grateful.